I did put a lot of time into it. I studied hard, and I think the thing that I did the best was that I actually set that time aside while I wasn't actually taking other classes and everything. I was able to really just focus on the OAT alone, and I think that really gave me an advantage over other people. About a month, 3 to 4 weeks, right before I took the test. I did research at the time as well, but I would study during the week in addition to that. I feel like 4 or 5 hours, about 5 hours a day, yeah. Not always on the weekends, but it came to like 15, 20 hours a week, just OAT material, preparing for the test. I use the OAT, it's the Physics Destroyer, I believe it's called. I recommend that strongly for the physics section. And then I actually use the Kaplan DAT study book because they're so similar, the tests, and I just ignored their spatial section. But I found that to be very helpful in preparing. Besides that, I use my chemistry book, my own notes from school and classes to study. I liked to split it up each day into 1 or 2 sections because one subject would be too much for one day's worth. So I'd do about 2 subjects a day. I would read through the Kaplan DAT book for that section, highlighting it, underlining it, taking notes, and then I might go back to my own books from previous classes and see what I can fill in or add in there. And I'd do about 2 a day and alternating so I wouldn't get tired of one subject too quickly. Well, it was summertime, so I got myself outside a lot. Sometimes I would take my note cards to the pool and just kind of have them there, relax a little, study a little. I did do research, so that was just nice to get out of the house. Exercise, definitely, just to get the blood flowing a little bit more. And yeah, just make sure to take breaks and not try to do all 5 hours at once. Maybe divide it up and enjoy your time as well. You know, have a life outside of it. They were hard to deal with sometimes. Like I said, it was summer, so sometimes people are going out and doing things when I had to study. I was lucky I stayed in my college town. I didn't go home, so I would go to the library sometimes to get away from the distractions at my own apartment. I was lucky my friends were also studying at the same time, so surrounding myself by people that were in the kind of like mindset, I felt like really helped me focus and stay focused on studying. And just a little bit of discipline, I guess, you know, just I'd allow myself to go on Facebook or different things for a couple of minutes to just take a break, but then I'd, you know, go back to the books a little bit later. Well, my mom always said, you know, just breaking up your time into different shifts. I think that helps me a lot because otherwise if I go online and don't set a limit, I'll just stay on there forever. So I might do 45 minutes of studying and then take a 15-minute break or something like that. Or study until I get tired of that and then allow myself to enjoy something else for a while. Then I don't feel bad about it, it's just kind of a reward for putting in the hard work. I guess I just tried to think about it. I mean, I was very motivated. I wanted to get in. I wanted to do well. I did not want to have to retake the test. So that was a big motivator right there, just doing well the first time around and putting in all the effort right then. And I would just think about, you know, grad school and how that's where I wanted to be and that this would get me there even though it was hard at the time. That's just kind of the step I needed to take. So that's the way I thought about it. There was at least 5 in the book, I would say, about, and then the Physics Destroyer that I used, that had its own separate practice tests as well. There were about 2 or 3 there. And then I would find other books if I needed more to do questions or my own textbooks, back of the book, homework problems and stuff. That's the best way to do it, I think, is just practice for a lot of the subjects. It would be frustrating sometimes, but the best way to go about it is to figure out why it's wrong and then make sure you understand why the correct answer is actually correct, so that if you would get something similar again, you could actually get it correct the next time. And I'll say there were test questions on the OAT that, had I not practiced, I would have gotten wrong because I remembered getting similar ones wrong before, but because I went over them again, I actually got them right. the test. I think organic chemistry was a little bit challenging. That's just a hard subject in general, so you really gotta, really work to master that. Chemistry itself, just like basic chemistry, was hard because I hadn't taken that for about a year, so I had to go back and kind of remember everything and relearn it a little bit. Those were probably the two hardest ones. I've given them a little bit more time because I knew I would need that time. I'm a big note card person, so I had saved note cards from previous years for equations and helpful hints, and I would go through those note cards again, especially for organic chemistry, all the reactions, I had note cards for them. That really helped a lot to go back and review it. I would say to not take it lightly. Make sure you do take it seriously. Just because you've taken the classes before doesn't mean you're going to remember everything that easily. It does take time to go back and relook at the material. And not everyone's fortunate enough to be able to be in the situation that I was in, but if you can, I'd say study for it when you're not worried about other classes. Like, take time over, if you have the discipline at least, take time over a summer when you're not worried about school or different things that you're already worrying. I mean, those things are graded, so you might focus your attention on those more right away. But if you can, just take its own separate time to study for it and really review and focus on it.